everything in their power to talk Dellum, a 19-year-old kid, down from committing suicide. That would have been their training. All three of them, including the dog. They would have found some way for that dog to be involved if it was necessary. They would have found some way to talk this young man down from committing suicide. Not a one of them would have gone anywhere close to him to say, hey, listen, dude, you really want to die that way? You say you hate your life? Let's just push you over the edge. We'll help you. If he had gone to the Golden State Bridge and made this big, profound statement in front of the police there and said, I hate my life, not a one of them would have gone over. They would not even have sent the dog over and said, hey, dog, push him over the edge. He wants to commit suicide. Let's go ahead and help you. So if this young man is standing there on Armstrong, and he is now, they've asked him to show his hands, and again, I'm not going to go over the story because, like I said to you in psychological theory there, everybody sees it differently depending on the angle. But the piece I'm having everyone listen and visualize, this young man, whether he's butt naked or whether he's got one hand behind him or whether he's fully clothed, in fact, it doesn't even matter what his ethnic group is at this point. If they hear a human being say, I hate my life, at that point in time, all four of those police, you would have thought would have gone into some form of de-escalating the situation. Because now what we have is not just a criminal, but he is a mental criminal then, if you want to add something to him, because right now you don't know he's a criminal. You don't know what he's done. You've just pulled him over from the streets because he seems to have the description as to what someone thought he is. But now you have another issue on hand. You are the only three officers. The dog makes the fourth one. You're the only three witnesses to someone who is saying, I hate my life. So now, why are you now going to shoot him with the gun? Bullets kill. The same bullets, the same types of gun that they had at the gala. The police now understands what the danger of a gun is. So now they take the gun, instead of using a taser, instead of using rubber bullets, instead of saying, release the dog and let the dog see if they can bring him down to the ground. Because obviously this young man is not balanced. Obviously there's something going on with him. If he's saying where we can hear from the distance where we are standing, if we can hear him saying, I hate my life, this is no longer just a criminal. So that I want us, and I'm saying this to you, listening audience, because you may be called to be on the jury. They don't have much of a jury pool to begin with here in the Central Valley. They're going to have to pull from all kinds of places to make up a decent jury, because the police department and KMJ and other right wings and other kinds of radio shows and everybody who has an opinion on this is saying something. It's going to be extremely difficult for them to find a jury pool who's going to be balanced enough to say, I qualify to stand on this. So I'm doing my part as a civilian, as a taxpayer. I want you to understand that if you get called to the jury, ask yourself the question, if this young man said, I hate my life, why did the police officer continue to use a deadly force to shoot him, a lethal force to shoot him? And by the way, they didn't shoot him in the ankle, they didn't shoot him in the shoulder, they didn't shoot him in a way to bring him down. They shot him, and that shot that they shot, by the way, those two shots brought him down to the ground. It didn't kill him yet. Because even after he was on the ground, you hear on the video, and you've got to watch this video, ladies and gentlemen, you now hear the police officer cursing at the man on the floor, the young man. They're using the F word to him. So now the police officer has become emotional on his job. Now look, we all have a right to get emotional. I get emotional sometimes. Push my buttons and you're going to hear me get emotional. My voice is going to go up. Some of you might be listening now and saying, whoa, this lady got a lot of passion. It hurts me, it angers me. But it doesn't anger me enough to go out and shoot somebody and kill somebody. So we all have emotions. But here's the police using his own emotions by cursing, using the F word to this young man while he's laying on the ground.
Which ended up being the final moments of his life.
Final moments of his life. They didn't say, hey, somebody go call 911. Let's see if we can get someone to help him. You don't hear any of them doing intervention amongst themselves. Nobody says, send the dog out and let's see if he's armed so we can go over there and get him some help. You don't hear them. All you hear them doing is cursing at the top of their voice to this young man, using profanity. Now, we have to analyze that. We have to psychoanalyze why you would do that. And then if that's not enough, which you know that your adrenaline goes up when you are angry, you are frustrated when you're angry, you can't think straight because your rationale goes down. You cannot make good judgments. So now you go over to the guy within proximity. Now you're supposed to be afraid of this young man, but now you're open. Not one time did they ever take cover, according to the video. Now they go over and they shoot him with 2 more bullets. Now, I want you to listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to make a tie-in into this intersection that we've been talking about. Listen to me very carefully. This is where Black Lives Matters gets involved in these types of conversation. Yes, this is not a black man that's being shot, but there is still a voice that Black Lives Matters in this, because let me tell you why. Black Lives Matters issues of being this. If you have to shoot 1 bullet over another bullet, it only takes 1 bullet to kill somebody. So when you're using multiple shootings, we're asking you the question, why? Why does it take that many shootings to kill a person? You've already got them down. If they had shot this young man with 1 bullet, that would have been bad enough, because we would have said, why did you use the bullets? Why didn't you use a taser? Why didn't you use the canine dog? But they choose to use 1 bullet. But it wasn't 1 bullet they used. They used 3 additional bullets, making 4 bullets. That is 3 bullets too many in the lot to take a life of someone. That is why Black Lives Matters says Black Lives Matters. Not because we're saying all lives don't matter, but we're saying this has been a pattern over the years. And when you look at shootings, just in the last year alone, when you look at how many shootings has taken place by police officers, it is unbelievable for the numbers, even from now till where we're at on that. You can look that up on the internet. That's what your internet's there for. You be your researcher, look that up. And so why is it that there has to be all these multiple shootings that takes the life? Of course, the attorney is going to have to decide now which one of those 4 bullets killed him. Because if the first bullet shot him, let's say, which it didn't because they saw him moving, you'd have to ask them, why did you have to use 3 other bullets? If it was the second bullet that shot him, you still would have had to ask, why would you have gave him 2 other bullets? He's already dead. So if one of the 2 last bullets shot him, that's where the defense comes in as a criminal wrongdoing towards this police department. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this to you. You've just celebrated a police chief for 15 years of services, well done services, according to the people who attended that. He has served his community well. Do the math. If he's been the police chief for 15 years, divide his 15 years with his salary, and then multiply that or divide that by how many cases have been settled, whether in court or out of court. Do the math and see if this man is worth his worth in gold. Do the math to see if the department is giving you your money's worth as taxpayers. Do your math to see if indeed more training is necessary. He's giving you 15 years. He gets a healthy salary plus a retirement. Divide that number now by how many of the cases that have gone to a lawsuit that is being settled either in or out of court. Now subtract that from how much money we, the taxpayer, is paying them. In fact, from the budget of the department. And if it's not in a balance, which I believe it is not going to be, because that is the problem we're having nationwide, for the budgets that these police departments are getting nationwide, not just Fresno, when you add up how many people are being wrongfully killed and the kinds of legal monies that are going into this, the resources that are put into this, both from the families as well as from internally, the DA's office and otherwise, you're beginning to lose money, ladies and gentlemen. We're losing money as a community. We're losing money. We cannot keep giving all this money to the budgets of the police department. There are other departments that needs just as much money, but we're giving them. Are we getting our return on our money when we consistently have these lawsuits? Now you have 3 lawsuits just in the last 2 months. That's going to be going to this one police office. When I leave from here, I'll go back to Georgia to do my contractual work, and there'll be additional lawsuits that are waiting, trying to wonder, the community is trying to wonder, why are we paying all this money out to the department, to the police department, when we have all these overheads, lawsuits that are coming in and causing us a lot more money. So we have to be critical in our thinking, not just the emotion, but we need to do the dots and begin to really talk on a very critical basis. Is this really worth what we're doing at this point?
And thank you, Dr. Kennedy, for your analysis. Right now, we're going to go to a musical break, and we'll be right back with our perspective right here on 103.3 The Voice. Stay tuned. All right, great. So it's 1:15.